Good morning. Hey, my name is David Ramos. I'm a Christian author, and today I want to give you a bit of a progress report. I have more videos coming out later in the week, but I didn't want the in-between time to be too long, so I wanted to kind of fill you in what I'm working on and where are we going with all of this. Again, this is part of, in my mind, it's part of the lead-up series where my goal is by the end of the year to become a full-time author. And so I'm going hard in the writing and business part to really make that a reality. So a few of the things I'm working on, just kind of give you an idea. Most of my energy is going towards the Magnetic Faith launch, which is in March, March 12th. And with that, I was recently on a podcast called The Writer Lens. So that's with Josh Falto, and he's another Cleveland creative, which is really cool that there's a big community here. And we talked about playing the long game as an author, especially as a self-published author, and valuing those little wins along the way to show you might not get to where you want to go overnight. One of my favorite quotes is, we overestimate what we can do in a day or a week, but we underestimate what we can do in a year and 5 years and 10 years. And so just kind of having that Gary Vaynerchuk mindset, which is, hustle very hard in the micro, make the most of each day, but then be super patient in the macro. Understand that the big wins aren't going to come as quickly as you would like most of the time. So just that was the mindset for that podcast. I'll link it below so you can download it. We had a really good conversation, and his podcast, I highly recommend it because he is an author himself and he talks about some good things. So I'll link to that. Another project I am working on kind of in the backdrop is a new series that I'm playing around with. It's going to be related to different Christian classics. I can't tell you too much yet because I don't know if it's going to work, and I'm not sure how big it's going to be. If the first 3 installments work the way I think they will, then it will end up being about a 10 book installment series. Otherwise, I'll just stop at those 3. I'll tell you what I tried and why it didn't work, and then we'll move on. So that's just something to keep in the backdrop that I'll probably talk about come April, once the March launch has kind of calmed down. Some of the videos that I'm working on are the Canva, so Canva for authors, and how basically I'm going to walk you through what I use it for. Mainly is, YouTube thumbnails, social media posts. I have done it in the past for book covers, and I'll show you why that works and why it's not a good long-term strategy. And then for my leader magnets, so whether I'm making a PDF or a little ebook that's not necessarily like a normal Kindle book, I will make all of those pretty much on Canva. For the most part, I have used the free version too. And you can just do it. It's really powerful software you can do a lot with. So I'm going to show you some of the ins and outs of how I use it. Another thing I want to do is an office tour of the area where I work in and do the writing. I need to clean it up a little first, so that's why the video, I was planning to do it today, but it's probably going to come out Friday when I actually have time to clean. And then some of the tracking sheets I use. So I've been reading a lot of Chris Fox lately. He has the Write Faster, Write Smarter series, and he tracks his word counts and a bunch of other things. And this year, for the past 4 years, I've been tracking my book sales, and I have tracked my writing in different ways, but this year I'm taking it more seriously. So I'm tracking the writing every day. I'm tracking the book sales from all the different platforms, and I'm tracking promotions. So that's one I did to some degree in the past, and I'll show you what I've done in the past and how I'm doing it differently now. I'm using a lot of Google Sheets. That way, with Excel, you have to be at a computer, but with Google Sheets, as long as you buy something where with internet, you can access it and update it. So that's why I've been doing that. So that way I can really update it every single day, whether I'm here or out, and I have some time to crank out a few words or schedule another promotion. That way that thing is as up to date as it can be. And I'm not sure if you guys track or what you would like to track, but I'm just going to show you basically all the things that are most important to me, because I know those are the things that are going to help me reach my goal. So that's kind of an overview. I'm really focused on the Magnetic Faith launch and getting this next series out, because as soon as Magnetic Faith is done and out, I'll have about, Amazon gives it that 30 to 60 day window where it really pushes it, but then that's where you got to keep the cycle going. So I really need to have at least a book out before that 60-day mark, which is mid-May. So I'm planning to have at least 2 out by then, if everything goes according to plan, which, as an author, it doesn't always work that way. And yes, that's kind of just a brief progress report, letting you in on what's going on, what I'm working on. If you have any questions or want to know details about other things that you've heard, one place I have been trying to spend more time in every week is the Christian Authors and Writers group on Facebook. I was made a moderator at the beginning of this year, so I've been just trying to build the community there, share what I know. So if you want to jump over to that group, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, another good place to get a hold of me and just see what I'm working on is go to my website. I've made some updates. So you go to ramosauthor.com, enter your email, you're going to get my whole free library of goodies. And then over time, I'm going to make a separate library just for kind of helping other writers, get what they need to get. So right now it's mostly like a Christian library, but over time I'm going to add some good, helpful things for writers. All right, so thanks. You're going to see some more videos later in the week, but for now, I will talk to you later and keep writing.